Hello and welcome to the WBAP 820 570 KLIF Weather Podcast for Thursday, August 18th. I'm Chief Meteorologist Brad Barton in the Cumulus Media Center, and we have all kinds of good news for you. Yeah, you guessed it. Rain, and plenty of it over the next several days. Starting off kind of slow, starting off kind of stormy, but we're going to have some rain, and it's going to make a huge difference in life in North Texas here before long. Late last night, we had a few widely scattered thunderstorms around the area, and they actually caused some damage from localized downburst. This is a still shot from our television partner, WFAA Channel 8 in Dallas. The mighty big limb that got ripped off of a tree down in the community of Toller, which is a little farther down the road, 377 from Granbury, near the Mountain Lakes development. We also had scattered reports of wind damage east of Dallas in Wood County, not far from Winsboro, tree limbs, power lines, things like that. Now, I did check with the Weather Service about any other damage closer to the DFW area, and they had really no reports of major damage locally, that is. Okay, we'll start off with the morning satellite loop. Lots of clouds, and I'll call your attention to the very heavy cloud cover over northwest Texas. That's where the rain is, and it's been moving toward Dallas-Fort Worth all morning. Also some rain in northeast Texas, all moving east by southeast. Remember last week we picked up 41/100ths of an inch of rain from some isolated rains. That broke our 67-day rain-free streak, the second longest such record in DFW. Just last Wednesday night, DFW picked up another 48/100ths of an inch, so nearly an inch of rain so far for the month of August. But this has truly been a brutal drought. And from what I can see, not so much today, but looking ahead into next week, I think this particular drought is just about to end. As we bring up the national radar map, you can see that the rain is moving from northwest to southeast. That's the way it's oriented, indicative of a northwest flow aloft. Now, we'll check that out in just a minute. I'll show you a little better example of that. But here's where the rain is, starting in the west. Rain in the Pacific Northwest, stretching on down across the Sierras into Nevada. A little monsoonal rain in the desert southwest, but not much at the moment. Also some rain up in Minnesota and Wisconsin, upper Michigan, and from upstate New York on into New Hampshire and Maine. And now we'll concentrate on Texas. We're getting some much-needed rains in northwest Texas and now spreading southeast into the DFW area at this hour. And with the addition of Gulf moisture, lots of rain across Louisiana, Mississippi to Mobile, Alabama, and the Redneck Riviera, the Florida Panhandle. And I'm a big fan of Pensacola, Destin, Fort Walton Beach, the Redneck Riviera. We'll love it there. The sugar sands, the warm Gulf water, all those areas. And where I graduated, Jackson, Mississippi, is a beautiful area as well. Okay, let's move on to the upper-level model of the global forecast system, where the northwest flow really does show up. You can see all those lines oriented from northwest to southeast, and you don't see that big monstrous high anymore. So it's gone. It's been caught up into the general west to east flow across the continental United States, and that's very good news. And those little colored specks show vertical motion in the atmosphere, and from that you can infer several outbreaks of showers and storms in the time frame from today through Thursday. This is a 7-day segment of this global forecast system that I'm showing you right now, 7 days. But again, that huge, monstrous high-pressure zone is no longer to be found. Now, here is the same global forecast model, but it depicts precipitation during the same time frame across the country over the next 7 days. And we can pick up several areas of rain moving through North Texas with some real heavy rain possible Sunday night and Monday, and again later next week. Several outbreaks of rain and thunderstorms are expected in the next 7 days. Now, this is the same model. We're just zooming in on it now. It's the exact same model, but you can see it looks real promising. And one more model, this map projects accumulated precipitation over the next 7 days. And watch how that white area over North Texas continues to fill in right now. And that little bullseye of red and magenta just about on top of Dallas is indicative of 3 inches of accumulated rainfall between now and next Thursday afternoon. So that's what this one model is saying. 3 inches of rain over the next week in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now, there's one more to look at here. The 7-day projection by the National Weather Service. This is what we call a blend of man and machine forecast from the Weather Service. They're even more optimistic about the rain. They think Dallas-Fort Worth might pick up 5 to 6 inches of rain. That orange is like 6 inches of rain, close to 7. Again, that's pretty optimistic, but we can handle it. That is for sure. All right, now let's page through the surface maps. I'm going to skip some of them, but we'll page through a few surface maps just to get you an idea of what it's going to look like across the country. Starting here at Thursday night, okay? Thursday night, rain and thunderstorms from the northern states into the Great Lakes. A resurgence of monsoon moisture in the southwest, and that's stretching through Texas Thursday night tonight into the southern states. We are going to see some rain in the Dallas-Fort Worth area this afternoon and this evening, and it will probably continue a little bit into the early morning hours tomorrow. Now, we're going to move ahead because we're not going to see much difference in the maps on Friday and Saturday, so I'm moving ahead to Sunday morning. Look at all that rain along the Red River Valley, and, of course, there's more monsoonal moisture to work with and more Gulf moisture to work with as well. And I'm thinking that we might be looking at something tropical developing in the southern Gulf of Mexico sometime next week. You know, we've really seen almost no tropical development in the Gulf or Caribbean so far, and they're already up to the H's in the eastern Pacific. So I'll tell you, these two oceans have very differing characteristics when it comes to developing tropical systems this year, especially in this La Nina weather pattern. So let's move on to Monday morning now. And again, monsoonal moisture in the southwest, a little rain up in the northern Rockies. And then look at all that rain from Texas on through Louisiana, on through much of the south. Looks, I keep saying promising because, I'm suffering just like you have been, that's for sure. Let's move on now to the Tuesday map. Next Tuesday, still rain underway in Texas. In fact, probably getting enhanced by a couple of things. One is a new surface low near Childress with a warm front moving up, and probably, again, I'm seeing this concentration of rainfall in the deep south, and I'm thinking that probably this particular man-machine forecast is picking up hints of tropical weather development in the Gulf of Mexico. That could be a game changer as well. Sometimes they get into the Texas area, but most of the time they'll stay a little bit to the east. Let's move on one more day to Wednesday, okay? So there's the tropical rains in Louisiana and in Alabama and Mississippi and along the Texas Gulf Coast. But I think there's probably going to be a tropical storm or a tropical depression of some kind up in that area. And we'll get you to next Thursday. And again, there's that concentration of rain from the upper Texas coast through much of the Gulf Coast and a lot of rain in Florida as well. Okay, so let's move on to the local forecast. Starting today, Thursday, widely scattered showers and storms underway now across the Dallas-Fort Worth area, tapering off by evening. High today only 88 degrees after 102 degrees yesterday. Winds out of the north 10 to 15 miles per hour because the actual cold front is down in central Texas right now. So north winds and a mild 88-degree high. How about that? With some rain. Partly cloudy and mild, low 70 to 75 overnight. That'll give your AC a little bit of a rest. Tomorrow, Friday, sunny, warm, and humid with a high of 94. Saturday, we'll have a high about 96. It'll be kind of steamy. Could see some isolated showers and thunderstorms possible Saturday afternoon or evening. Same thing on Sunday, scattered to numerous showers and storms, probably increasing on Sunday, and then will be rainy from Sunday night into Monday, and then rainy off and on much of next week. So thanks again for joining us for the WBAP.
Hello and welcome to the WBAP 82570 KLIF Weather Podcast for Thursday, August 10th.
Finally had some
I'm
good news
meteorologist
for you.
Brad
Some more
Barton
rain
at the
coming in.
Cumulus Media
Be careful
Center in
next
Dallas,
7
Fort Worth.
days.
Thanks
Watch
for
for the
joining
rain.
Finally, North Texas got some widespread showers and thunderstorms, and they were spread widely enough finally to reach DFW
Thanks for joining us today.
which picked up 4/10 of an inch of rain, breaking the 67-day rain-free streak at DFW, which is now the second longest on record here in North Texas.
I'm Chief Meteorologist
41
Brad
hundredths of an inch is what they got at DFW Airport. Others
all
got a little more than
kinds
that,
of good
but we
news
also
for
had
you.
some severe weather.
Yeah, you
Here's
guessed
some of
it.
the observed
Rain
rainfall
and
reports
plenty
from
of
the
it
Weather Service.
over the next
41
several
hundredths of an inch at
days. Starting off
DFW,
kind of
14
slow,
hundredths at Love.
starting off kind of stormy.
McKinney got better than half an inch. So
we're
did
gonna
Rockwall.
have
So
some
heavier
rain,
rains
and it's going to make a
to the
huge
east of
difference
Dallas.
in life
And
in
White
North
Rock
Texas
Creek
here
at
before long.
Greenville
Late last night,
actually
we
got
had a few
an
widely
inch and
scattered
2,800.
thunderstorms
Some
around
pretty
the
good
area,
rainfalls
and
out
they
there.
actually caused
There's
some
not much
damage
else
from
out there
localized
for the next few
downbursts.
days, I'm
This
afraid,
is a
but it
still
was nice
shot
to get
from our
what
television
we
partner
got.
WFAA Channel 8.
And along with the rain we had to pay for with some storm damage, we had reports of
community
trees down in Trophy Club up on 114. Had some radar indications of 2-inch hail north of Denton, and also a spotter reported some hail and wind damage
not far
to
from Winnsboro.
roofs
Tree limbs,
in
power lines,
Waxahachie,
things
south
like
of
that.
Dallas.
I did check
and
with
several
the
house
Weather
fires were
Service
caused by
about
lightning
any other
strikes
damage
several
closer
this time.
to the
We had a
DFW
lot of
area,
lightning, about
and they had
17,000
really no
power
reports of
outages.
major
A lot
damage
of that due to lightning
locally,
resets.
that is.
But
Okay, we'll
some
start off
pretty
with the morning
devastating house
satellite
fires.
loop. Lots of clouds, and
still
I'll
shot
call your attention to the very heavy cloud cover over northwest Texas. That's where the rain is.
Okay, let's check our satellite loop this morning. The clear spot over north Texas.
Also some rain in
where the rain was yesterday.
East by southeast.
And then the cloud you see south of Dallas
4,100
are spotty showers that started forming this morning.
That broke our
probably around 9 o'clock along the outflow boundaries left by the storms in the DFW area last night. So that's kind of where the action is going to be later on today and tonight as well in central Texas and the coastal plain and the Brazos Valley and so forth. They will be getting some rain and thunderstorm activity. Dallas-Fort Worth area really not expecting much here. Okay, now the national radar makes it pretty obvious where a high-pressure bubble went clear on up into the Rockies. And you can see the rain going way up north into Canada, and then running down the east side of the ridge down into the Dakotas, all the way into Minnesota, Wisconsin,
here's where the rain is starting in the west.
Elsewhere, you see monsoonal moisture producing some fairly heavy rains near El Paso. They had some serious flash flooding there over the last few days.
Also some rain up in Minnesota and Wisconsin, upper Michigan,
and plenty of showers and storms along the Gulf Coast. A little bit of rain in the northeast as well.
We'll concentrate on Texas.
Now, that northward displacement of our high-pressure system
Texas
is what opened the way for not only a weak frontal boundary, but some weak upper-level disturbances to set off a couple of days of showers and storms.
Lots of rain across Louisiana,
vertical velocity of 500 millibars.
Mobile, Alabama,
it's centered there in the Rocky Mountain states.
A big
huge ridge over the middle of the country. But that did allow the storms to kind of sneak in from the northeast yesterday, last night. And that's about the only way you're going to get rain.
The upper level model of the global forecast system,
but that's what set off a couple of days of showers
really
and storms.
Does show up. You can see
let's put the upper level models in motion, and you can see that high pressure zone coming back southeast into Texas early next week. So the fun's over, the rain's over, and the heat's going to be back on here before you know it. This is going to be this map is centered on noon Tuesday. And so it's going to be plenty hot. We're probably going to get to near 100 Sunday, Monday, Tuesday,
from today through Thursday.
Wednesday as well. We are hoping for maybe some changes later in the week, later next week. But
again, that huge
nothing obvious right now. Let's move on to the surface maps. Now, here is starting off tonight, rain and thunderstorms from central Texas southward by the end of the day.
During the same time
this map is centered on 6, 7 o'clock tonight across Texas. Rain South Texas,
with some real
rain coastal Texas, rain West Texas,
and
a lot of monsoonal moisture
later
in the Rocky Mountain states. Same basic thing tomorrow as well. This is a Friday night's map. Rain along the Gulf Coast and monsoonal rain throughout the Rocky Mountain states. Then we move on to Sunday morning. Heavier rain along the Gulf Coast. There's a little frontal boundary draped down there, a couple of surface lows as well. We still have monsoonal moisture in the western part of the country.
White area over North Texas
on Sunday morning.
Fill in right now.
We'll kind of page through these pretty quick. You can see that the North Texas area, as well as Kansas, most Kansas and Oklahoma dry out big time and heat up as well on Monday and also on Tuesday and also on Wednesday, hot and dry where there's rain just about everywhere else. And then you can see rain trying to encroach on east and northeast Texas on Wednesday. We'll see how that works out. It's just a little bit beyond our forecast, but we are hoping to see another pattern change that might allow a new chance of rain, but it won't be until probably Thursday at the earliest. So here's our forecast. Mostly sunny, breezy, and hot with a high near 96 today. Winds out of the northeast 10 to 20. Fahrenheit 77 tonight. Mostly sunny, 97 tomorrow. We are going to be hot and humid because of the rain that did reach the ground. It'll take a couple of days for it to evaporate. Saturday also sunny, breezy, hot and humid with a high near 98 and a low near 78. Sunday we're probably back to 100 and Monday probably back to 101. Thanks again for joining us for the WBAP KLIF Weather Podcast. Get ready for a little more heat this weekend.
Thursday night.
We have just passed into the southern peak in average high temperatures during the first week of August. So we'll look forward to another change in the weather, maybe a week from now, and that's when we'll meet again.
Now we're going to move ahead because we're not going to